Poor people who have dated rich people. What surprised you about them? I was 19, working double shifts at a diner to pay for community college, when Bridget walked into my life wearing shoes that cost more than my monthly rent. She ordered black coffee and sat in my section for 3 hours, typing on a laptop that looked like it belonged in a spaceship. When I finally worked up the courage to refill her cup, she smiled and asked if I was in school. Part-time, I said, suddenly embarrassed by the grease stains on my uniform. What are you studying? Engineering, mechanical. I waited for the usual response, surprised that a waitress could handle math. Instead, she lit up. That's incredible. I'm majoring in environmental science at Princeton. Princeton? Of course. When she left, she tipped me $50 on a $3 coffee. I thought it was a mistake until she came back the next day, and the next. After 2 weeks of awkward small talk, she asked me out. Our first date was at a restaurant where the bread cost more than my textbooks. I spent the entire meal terrified I'd used the wrong fork or pronounced something incorrectly. Bridget seemed oblivious to my discomfort, chatting about her semester abroad in Morocco like it was as normal as going to the grocery store. Want to see my place? She asked afterward. Her apartment was a penthouse overlooking the city. Floor-to-ceiling windows, marble countertops, art that looked like it belonged in museums. The monthly rent probably equaled what my family made in a year. It's not mine, she said quickly, noticing my expression. My parents bought it as an investment. I just get to live in it. Just get to live in it. Like she was doing them a favor. What surprised me wasn't the money. I'd expected that. It was how completely unaware she was of what it meant. When I mentioned working 30 hours a week on top of school, she suggested I just ask my parents for help. When my beat-up Honda broke down, she offered to buy me a new car like she was offering to grab lunch. It's not a big deal, she'd say about everything. Expensive dinners, weekend trips, designer clothes she'd buy me despite my protests. The breaking point came when she met my family. Mom had cleaned the house for 3 days straight, and Dad had borrowed money for groceries to make a decent meal. Our tiny 2-bedroom felt even smaller with Bridget in it, unconsciously cataloging everything with her eyes. At dinner, she asked Dad about his work. Construction, he said simply. Oh, like developing properties. Mom and I exchanged glances. Dad had been laying concrete for 20 years, coming home with aching joints and cement dust in his hair. More like building them, he said. The conversation died. Bridget tried to fill the silence by telling stories about her family's ski trips and charity galas. She meant well, but every anecdote highlighted the gulf between our worlds. After dinner, she pulled me aside. Your parents are so authentic, she gushed. It must be nice to come from such a grounded family. Authentic. Like we were a documentary she was watching. That night, I called her from the parking lot of my second job. This isn't working, I said. What do you mean? Did I say something wrong? I tried to explain the exhaustion of pretending our worlds could merge. How her casual generosity felt like charity. How she'd never understand that some problems couldn't be solved by throwing money at them. But I love you, she said, genuinely confused. The money doesn't matter. That's exactly the problem, I replied. For you, it doesn't matter because you've never lived without it. 3 years later, I graduated with my engineering degree. No student loans thanks to scholarships and relentless work. I landed a job at a renewable energy company and slowly built the life I was proud of. Last month, I got a LinkedIn message from Bridget. She was working at her father's firm now, helping develop luxury eco-resorts. She'd attached an article about sustainable engineering and written, "Thought you'd find this interesting. Hope you're well." I stared at the message for a long time before deleting it. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt.